Hello and a very good evening. Welcome to Elite TV. You're watching Open Debate in English. I'm Chomgtham Amrita, and today we bring you the topic PR imposed at whose appropriate timing. We bring you this topic because just recently, only 3 days ago, Times Now held an event called the Times Now Summit 2025, and there the Union Home Minister Shri Amit Shah answered a few questions that was based in Manipur regarding Manipur. One of them was that he said that the PR that was imposed on February 2025 was imposed at an appropriate time, but the question is whose appropriate timing was it? Because it's well known that the ethnic conflict in Manipur has been prolonged since 2023 without a resolution, and the PR imposition, was it too late? That is the real question. But why does the Union Home Minister go about in a public platform saying that it was imposed in an appropriate timing? And that's just not it. And he also said that the economy has improved in Manipur, and also that the imposition of Manipur of the PR has also been accepted by the two communities. And also he went ahead to say that there has been signs to show that there is normalcy and peace coming back in the state. And I think there is one other particular thing that he also stated, which is that talks are being initiated for both the communities to bring about normalcy, which was also stated in the floor of the parliament just a few days ago before that. But today we will examine how far this statement is true in the ground, because regarding the appropriate timing, does the appropriate timing only apply to the union government? Does the appropriate timing apply to the victims of the Manipur crisis? Does the appropriate timing apply to the former Chief Minister N. Biren Singh? So the question remains, whose appropriate timing was it? So to discuss and debate on this matter, let us first welcome and introduce our speakers for tonight. Our first speaker for tonight is Oja and Satyajeet, Bureau Chief for UNI. Oja, welcome to Open Debate. And our second speaker for tonight is Oja Dr. N. Shantikumar, Professor of English, Hongkuo, Delin University. Oja, welcome to Open Debate. And our third speaker for tonight is Oja Dr. Naorem Bobo, Media Spokesperson for DMCC. Oja, welcome to Open Debate.
Good evening.
Okay, let's start with this episode right away. Oja Satyajeet, I'll come right to you at first. My question is that why did the union government take so long to take a decisive action, just like the imposition of PR? The question about the appropriate timing of PR, do you think that it was just purely because it was a negligence from the side of the union government, or was it strategic? Or do you think that this was just another political convenience on the side of the union government, and then February 25 was the appropriate timing for political interests? How do you take it?
Oh, yes. Amrita, we have been facing an unprecedented crisis. People are not able to move around freely. People are not able to eat their food properly. There is shortage of essential commodities, and the inflation rate is the highest in Manipur. The per capita income is the lowest in Manipur. The economic impact, the social mental impact have been tremendous. And in these circumstances, we are seeing how the government of India and how the government of Manipur are dealing with the situation. Prior to the imposition of President's rule on 13th of February 2025, there was a popular government in Manipur, and people were not happy because the killings were not stopping. Normalcy was not restored. So people had some expectation from the center that it may do something by imposing a president's rule, which the popular government was not able to do. But if you look at the trend, we notice a certain development. That is, some of the organizations, some of the groups, especially in the valley areas, they were ready to accept peace. They were ready to say that we are ready to return to normalcy by laying down arms. But the trend was different in the hill areas, even after the imposition of hill president's rule, because they refused to lay down arms. It has two reasons to it. Because number one, prior to the crisis and earlier also, the Kuki militants had been depending on the arms to extort money on the national highway, to abduct people, to kidnap people, and it had been using the arms and ammunition as a tool to create problem in Manipur. and if they lay down their arms, then it means the entire movement will collapse. So the movement in the valley areas is to protect the people, protect the land, protect the territorial integrity of the state. That is the movement in the valley and most of the parts in the hill areas. But in some of the 2 or 3 districts in the hill areas, the movement is to create problem so that people who are from Myanmar, people whose activities is to loot money, extort money, by involving themselves and by supporting illegal arms transportation, illegal poppy plantation, to support those activities. And if you look at the ways the Union Home Minister has given the statement, and if you look on how the PR was imposed, it was basically due to some problems within the BJP, because BJP for the first time in the history of independent India in Manipur was able to form a government with complete absolute majority. But the problem is it was not able to complete the term because some of the MLAs of JDU and some other MLAs, they had moved from their original parties to the BJP. And so in the Speaker's Tribunal, cases were moved by the Congress and other political parties. So those issues were troubling the BJP. And the other issue was every year there has to be 3 assembly sessions, and there has to be less than a period of 6 months between the end of one assembly and the beginning of another assembly. Under Article 174 of the Indian Constitution, they have drafted the rules and procedures, and as part of the rules and procedures, which is abiding and which is mandatory, the assembly session was postponed. So there was a constitutional crisis. So the government of India, it was compelled to impose president's rule. It may be one factor. And the other factor is it saw the possibility of the BJP government collapsing. So it would be shocking for the central BJP leaders. It would be embarrassing. So they decided to impose president's rule. That is my personal opinion. And if you look at the ways the government of India has dealt with the crisis, it had a golden opportunity to resolve the crisis when the budget was introduced in the parliament. Because for the first time during BJP rule, budget was presented in the parliament, because since there's president's rule in Manipur, but the problem is no amount of money was given to help people who are living in relief camps. Excuse me. And they were not giving any money to help the displaced person reconstruct houses. Those were not done. The amount was it was a very meager amount, about say 8 to 12%. It was just the government had to borrow money to introduce the budget. The government of India could have given some loans, given them some grants. It was not done, and it shows that the government of India is not ready to help financially to the crisis, to resolve the crisis in Manipur. And the other tactics the government of India uses, earlier Armed Forces Special Powers Act was removed from most parts of Manipur. And very recently it was reintroduced in 6 police stations out of 19. Now it is not imposed only in 13 areas covered by 13 police stations. That means it has increased. So the government of India has no other option than the all harsh medieval tactics of using Armed Forces Special Powers Act. The former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh said it is a very harsh law. It has to be replaced by a human law. Dr. Jiban Reddy Commission said it is a useless law. It should be repealed. Every person has said that it is a draconian, black law which is used to kill people arbitrarily. It violates the fundamental human rights as declared by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR. All the rights given enshrined in the Constitution and all the rights given by the United Nations have been violated by the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. Under the International Civil and Political Rights, about 27 rights are given to all humans. The liberty to move freely, liberty to breathe freely, liberty to practice their religion freely. All the 27 rights and the 6-7 fundamental rights given by the Constitution of India, they have been taken away from the people of Manipur. We are not, as you must have seen, we are not able to travel on the national highway. So whether it was PR, whether it was before PR, the situation remains the same. And people were expecting in the early phases when the president's rule was imposed, people were thinking that maybe the government may do something which may help the people and it may crack down on the Kuki militants / terrorists who kidnap people, and people disappeared when they entered Kampopi, Churachandpur districts. And so people were expecting something. And if you look at the number of people who have been arrested, number of arms let down, the number of people arrested is very low in the hill areas, except they have been, on 29th March, 6 persons from Kampopi were arrested with 174 cases of drugs. So it shows that people in Kampopi and Churachandpur are still using the old tactics of transporting drugs so that it can fuel the anti-India, anti-Manipur movement. So Amrita, in the first round, I would say that whether it is President's rule or before President's rule, and why it was imposed or why it was not imposed, everything remains the same for the people of Manipur. Okay. We are still in a dark age. We do not have any space to change.
There is no difference.
Any space to. There is no difference. Thank you.
Okay. But Oja, just a quick question. Would you agree that this PR imposition is purely because of political consideration, as you said earlier in your opening statement, that BJP was losing face in Manipur, and because that is also one of the reasons. So would you say that this is purely because of political consideration? And since you said that there is no difference between pre-PR or after PR in Manipur?
In fact, what happened was BJP had to face a problem in the parliament, and yes, everywhere the central leaders were going. People were asking, why is the Prime Minister not visiting Manipur? Why is the Prime Minister not interested in the sufferings of the people of Manipur when he is roaming around the world? He is touring around the world. So that is one particular issue. So the government of India, especially the Union Home Ministry, had to prepare some answers that we are doing something also. Okay. So it could at any point of time restore the normal government. It could at any point of time dissolve the assembly. It could at any point of time impose president's rule. So it shows that everything is in the hands of in the center. And it has no answer to give to the people, because since it has not acted, it has not done anything, and even the leaders who are supposed to speak, they are not speaking in the parliament. So they are disinterested in the affairs of Manipur. So it may be one. This is my personal opinion. That might be the reason why the center thought that to give a reply to the media and to the parliamentarians in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it may say that PR has been imposed. We are doing something. We are trying to open the road, and we are trying to hold talks with the people. Those are mere cosmetic issues. Nothing surgical has been done, and we are expecting some surgical strikes to wipe out terrorists from 1 or 2 districts of Manipur.
Okay, very good point, Satyajeet. In your opening remarks, I'll come back to you in the next round. Satyajeet has stated a lot of aspects regarding the imposition of PR. That first of all, that there is no difference between the pre-PR or after the PR imposition in Manipur, because there is still no difference on the ground. And also, Satyajeet touched upon the issues regarding the assembly issue, especially the constitutional crisis that has been created by the timing of this PR PR imposition and also the economic status and all of that. I would like to tackle each one in the upcoming rounds to our all panelists. But now I will go to Oja Shantikumar. I'd like to know from you that Oja Satyajeet has also suggested that this PR imposition timing could also be coming from some sort of a negligence from the side of the union government. The question is, Oja Shantikumar, if the union government has been delaying the PR imposition and because purely for just negligent of the ground issues and not having any concrete resolutions to solve this issue, and then they have been delaying the PR imposition for almost 2 years, and then finally they thought that February 2025 is the perfect timing, appropriate timing in his words. The timing being appropriate because just a few days before that there was supposed to be an assembly session in Manipur where the ruling BJP party was supposedly going to face a no confidence motion, and also the parliament session that was coming subsequently. I think all of this is purely a political move, and also the timing, in fact, it is only to save face for the side of the union government. Now, Oja Shantikumar, my question is, by delaying the PR imposition, by delaying the restoration of law and order, who will take the responsibility and the accountability of all the victims that have been caused by the hands of this violence only due to the negligence and the delaying from the side of the union government? What do you have to say to that, Oja?
Good evening once again, our dear panelists, Amrita, and all the viewers around the world, and also in India, Manipur. My views on the... can you just repeat the question, the last one?
Yes, Oja Shantikumar, I would like to know from you is that by delaying the imposition of the president's rule in Manipur, do you think that the union government should take the accountability and responsibility for all the lives that have been lost and all the victims that have been caused because of the delayed tactics?
Yeah, I got it. Yes, I would say a big yes.
Okay.
Not only the Home Ministry, but the central government is totally responsible for whatever happened in the state of Manipur. Yes. You know, the conflict could have been solved in a few days, in a matter of few days actually. But why the government of India, the Home Ministry, the government of India, let's not say the Home Ministry only, but let's say the whole central government. Why the central government didn't try to stop the conflict within few days, which they could have done. But the central government didn't do that willingly. Some of the first one is to appease and to, smoothen the ways for the militants, so that they can operate the way they want, or the central language wishes. Mm-hmm. And the second point is they didn't impose president rule so that the conflict goes on and delay and goes on, so that more and more people suffer, and so that the state of Manipur totally relies on the central government's mercy, and that is one factor. And the other factor is why the BJP central government didn't impose PR president rules on time is to save the face of Manipur state BJP's face.
Okay.
And also the central government's face, because they were always accusing the other government, like the Congress government, for imposing, president's rules. How many times in Manipur they were talking about that. They were accusing the government, the Congress government, for imposing president's rule in the past years, right? So they actually didn't like to have that kind of, to impose president's rule, which will taint their image. But finally they did at the end. So during this before imposing this president's rule, people already have suffered so much. houses, thousands of houses burned down, and more than 250 people, got killed, and many people lost and, cannot track still. And also, people have no freedom to go around. Hill people, especially those groups against us, against Métis, cannot come down to the valley, and also valley people, especially Métis and Métis, cannot go to their cookies or inhabited areas. So there are so many problems created. Not only that, not only free movement is restricted, then the highways are stopped, highways are banned, highways are closed so many times, which make the economy of the state so bad. And then inflation came, and people who are in those IDPs, internally displaced people, they are still suffering, and they never know when they can go back, and the houses burn down, leveled to the ground. So all this could have been saved, protected, the properties and lives of the people, if central government, at least impose PR on time. But they say imposing PR needs both communities' acceptance. But yes, they finally imposed, but I don't think the other communities, except the Kukizo communities, I don't think the other communities accepted and welcome PR. No. No other communities welcome PR. It was forcefully imposed in Manipur by forcing the CM of Manipur to resign. And also to save the state BJP's face from no competence motion from the other parties, from the opposition parties. They imposed that. Because of this delayed imposition of, and people have suffered, and all these sufferings have come, people face this problem. And also they claim, Amit Shah claimed that they couldn't impose the president's rule. If they can do, why not? Nobody can stop, right? But they didn't, because they were waiting for something, and that time came at the end when BJP BJP state Manipur couldn't do, the BJP government couldn't do anything. Then finally they forced the chief CM to resign and finally imposed. But the question is, have we got any better? No, not much. Very little. Yes, mostly when they collected the illegal weapons, it's also from the valley, from the valley people, from the valley militants or village defense people. But at the hillside, we don't see much. So I would say this imposition of PR is not on the right time. It should have been done much earlier. I would say it this way. Amrita?
Okay, thank you for your points, Dr. Shantikumar. Now I'll go to Oja Bobo. Oja Bobo, we have heard our previous two speakers say regarding the timing of the imposition of the PR, and I'd like to know from you is that, especially as Oja Shantikumar has also mentioned, regarding the free movement, which is another issue, and also this was directed from the Union Home Minister himself, and which was failed and met with great resistance, and then there was a huge casualty. The thing regarding Union Home Minister speaking and talking on public platforms, saying that peace and normalcy is almost returning to Manipur, and then people are still in talks coming back to try to bring back normalcy in the state. Do you think all of this is just a superficial, as Satyajeet mentioned, that these are all just superficial treatments just to cover the real issue? Because it looks like the central government, especially the Home Ministry, is unable, or maybe is unable to really solve or bring about a solution to the crisis. And also the timing, truly, as Shantikumar has said, that it has come too late. So what do you have to add to that, Oja Bobo?
Amrita, can you hear me?
Yes, sure, please continue.
Yes. See, The Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah has stated that peace is revealing or coming back in Manipur. But in my view, let us see. Yesterday itself was the, especially for the Meitei community, that our New Year, Meitei no mo pan Chiroba. But on this special day, he has already extended the imposition of another 6 months of AFSPA.
Right.
Then how he can term that in Manipur there is a peace is revealing? If the peace and the atmosphere is coming back, then why don't he take out the AFSPA as previously one, as like before? Then why don't he he has also stated that all the markets are opening and people are doing their business. But let's see the view. If in More or in Kangpokpi, some Kukijo community people are opening their business, or that it does not mean that peace are coming back in Manipur as a public or as the people of Manipur wanted. Let us say if the Ima Kaitel is opening and doing the business, it does not mean that the peace is coming back, because all the communities are not interconnected or doing their interconnection of the business as before method. Then how can we term that the peace is coming back in Manipur? Or how can we term that only in Fall Valley or some part of areas has been doing their business, or some part of Kangpokpi or some part of Chuchampur is doing their business, and without breaking this so-called buffer zone, without going in the highways, without not able to proceed further from Moirang, without not able to proceed from Palel, or without not able to proceed in the Kangpokpi areas and the national highways, and especially to the Meitei communities and vice versa in the Kuki communities, then how can we term that the peace is revealing in Manipur? And we should recall that if the AFSPA, the 1958 Act, the Armed Force Special Power Act, since it was applied in Manipur in 1980s, how many massacres has been done? Let us just recall the history. 14 March 1994, Hairangoi Thong, 14 civilian has been killed by the CRP in open daylight. 10 July 1997, Operation Blue Bird, Oinam village, almost 3 months by AR, Assam rifle, and killed 14, and many others have been tortured in the camp, and many have been killed later on. And even the full-term pregnant lady has been forced to deliver in a public. And 25 March 1993, Tera Bazar massacre by the CRPF, 5 civilian has been killed and injured many. 7 January 1995, RMC massacre, CRPF, killed by the CRPF, 9 civilian, including a medical student. 2nd November 2000, Malo massacre by air, 10 civilian, including this minor, let's say 17-year-old Sinam Chandramani, is owner of National Bravery Awards of Child in 1998. So 11 July, Manorama, and so on, many massacres has been done. So we have been in a dark era since 1980s after imposition of this AFSPA. Then do you think that after imposition of AFSPA, how many of this insurgency group has been coming up? Or in late 1990s, how many of them are there? Only 2 or 3 of them. Now it's more than 40. So is it the effective way to deal with the Manipur crisis? Or is this the way to impose PR rule? Or the failure of our representative, so-called representative, mandated by the people of Manipur? So our voice, the people voice of Manipur is that we want a peaceful life. We want our territory to be safeguarded. We want all the communities, the 34 communities, we have been living together for many years to live in peace. But who is doing this, all this violence, or who is mastermind behind this? So we should rather target on those people who have been masterminding this, those conflicts since May 3rd, or who are doing this divide and rule policies. And let us see in another term that is any of the political party or any of the leaders, representative leaders, do they protested against the AFSPA who has been reimposed in Manipur? None of them. Then only the suffering of the public is more and more day by day. And how long we are going to deal with this? The question arises. And the voice of people of Manipur should be heard, not only in India, but overall the world. So what is the truth and what is the fault behind this, the conflict? Only then a peaceful or a solution can be brought.
Yes, indeed, Oja. I'll take that. I raised that question to Oja Satyajeet. I think you made a very powerful statement on that. I think it's true. Yeah, Oja Satyajeet, what are your thoughts regarding the extension of AFSPA again in the Imphal Valley? Because we know that you have been also saying in your previous round that the imposition of PR and how it's truly there is not much effect on the ground whether there is imposition of PR or not, especially with respect to the Manipur crisis. Now the question is that the Home Minister is going around on public platforms, on the Parliament, saying that peace has almost returned or almost returning, and all of these statements coming about regarding Manipur. And it seems as though he is trying to paint a picture of Manipur that there is normalcy just because there is no gunfight, there is no sound of bombs, at least for now, and also regarding some issues about surrender of arms, and also just to make, as you said in your previous round, that just to make a statement on the Parliament that they are indeed doing something and that these are the actions and then these are taking the fruit of their actions. But as Oja Bobo has clearly highlighted regarding the extension of AFSPA, it shows that after all, with the imposition of PR and also with the extension of AFSPA, do you think that the Union government is trying to downplay the considerable democratic degradation happening in the people of Manipur? Oja Satyajeet.
I think AFSPA is just like a poison. Because it cannot be given to people frequently. It is a very venomous poison. It should not be used as a medicine. The government is trying to use a venom as a medicine. That is not accepted to the people of Manipur, and we have to protest it. And we have to do a little comparison, Amrita, about AFSPA, the areas where AFSPA has been imposed, the area where AFSPA has not been imposed. Let's do the comparison immediately after the 2023 May 3rd crisis. 16 Assam Rifle, BSF, Manipur personnel, including Assam Rifle, Manipur Police, they were attacked in the areas where AFSPA was imposed. And not even a single Assam Rifles, Army, CRPF personnel, they were attacked. Not even a single person was touched in the area where AFSPA was not imposed. So it shows that AFSPA has no relevance to attacks from militants/terrorists, and we noticed that there were more attacks on the security personnel where AFSPA was imposed. And the other trend which we witnessed was in the valley areas. We have to accept that some of the arms were taken away by the civilians, mainly because the attacks from the hill areas, especially the Churachampur, Kampukpi areas, because they were using very sophisticated weapons, and so people were compelled to to take arms because they were not able to defend themselves. About 6,000 arms disappeared. About 4,000 to 4,500 have come back. And most of these, most of the weapons in the hill areas, they are sophisticated. We don't know the sources from where they come. And they know how to manufacture arms and ammunition also. That is very dangerous also. And so AFSPA has no linkers, has no effect on manufacture, sales, and use of arms in Manipur. So our AFSPA has no relevance. And we have to do another comparison, that is the number of missing persons in Manipur Valley. After the crisis, there was no case of people disappearing after they came to the valley areas from the different community. But about say 40 to 50 people, they disappeared after they went to Churachampur and Kampukpi by mistake. That means AFSPA was not able to defend people to protect people, including students, including women and children. And if we remember the instance of the unfortunate incident of Hemagit, throwing up the disappearing, and now we have the unfortunate incident of a 20-year-old youth, Mukesh Das, Mukesh Das. He is still missing. The government was able to find it, and the areas where he entered is under AFSPA. So AFSPA at the ground has no relevance in proper administration. And the other issue which I want to raise is AFSPA can be imposed in the areas where there is no AFSPA. The government of Manipur can simply send an order, a requisition order to the Assam Army, saying that we need army to operate in this area. So by sending a notification, Army, Assam Rifles, they can operate in all the areas of Manipur. So there is no question of imposing AFSPA order, because it simply needs a requisition notice. That is exactly what happened after May 3rd. If you remember the statement of the senior Assam Rifle personnel, they got a requisition from the government of Manipur on May 3rd, and they start working in Manipur. So it has no connection. So I think AFSPA has no relevance to the issue in Manipur. The government of India, rather than imposing AFSPA, should start new hospitals in all the districts of Manipur, should open all the roads. And if I just remember one incident, since Doctor is present here, Bobo, most of the people in the areas, they are facing a tremendous health crisis. I spoke to many of them, and they spoke to many of their friends, because we normally have lived together, we work together, and some elements from Myanmar who are deeply involved in terror, they are misusing their name, and they are also being terrorized to speak anti-national things. And I think not all our friends, not all the people are our enemies. We have to differentiate between the people who want to return to normalcy and those who are not return to normalcy. That position the government of India has to take. And they should be able to discern, they should be able to divide the people on those lines, and who is ready to speak for peace and those who are not ready to speak for peace. Now it has become very clear. Some of the organizations said they are not ready for talks. That means the government of India now can impose the terror laws, UAPA, and not even a single Kuki organization is declared as a terror organization in Manipur. Many Manipur-based organizations, many Naga-based organizations, many Tripura, Assam, everywhere, they are all classified under terror laws. I don't know why the government of India is hesitant in declaring any of the Kuki militants as terror organizations. Yes, not even a single group has been declared as terror, even though they are involved in killing of 6 persons, including women and children at Jeribam. Their involvement was approved. Everything was proved. Then in the kidnapping of many people, about 31 persons are still missing. 32 people are still missing. Their involvement had been proved. Even 2 youths who had gone to attend a function of the army, was recruitment ready. They were also missing, and the Kuki militants were involved in kidnapping, and they were finally released after the intervention of the security personnel. It all shows that the government is very soft on terror, even though the government says that it is very, it has a zero tolerance on terrorism. But on the ground, it shows that they have 100% tolerance against terrorism, Manipur. And if they really want to root out terrorism, if they want normalcy to return, they need not arrest anybody, they need not kill anybody. They simply have to pick up the leaders. Basically, if you look at the leaders of the 2 organizations, Kuki militant organizations, who are holding talks with the government of India, both of them are from Myanmar. And then all the civil societies, we can check their monetary involvement also using the Money Laundering Act. Though these issues are not done at any level at the ground. And if you look at the statements of the Home Minister, which you had been inquiry, he said the talks had been initiated with both the organizations and both the people. And the people, they have started to talk to each other. But one thing the Home Minister is missing is people are ready to talk, people are ready to move freely, people want to get medical treatment available, people want to come at the airport, Imphal airport, Tulihal airport. But the only problem is some people are instigating peace-loving people, some people who love the nation to go against the nation. The government has to do surgical strikes on those individuals and on those persons. That is what we have to aspire for. That is what we have to move for. Otherwise, those people will continue to terrorize their own people, and they will continue to force the people to terrorize us also. And India's mission to have a free lane to plant poppy, a free lane to do illegal drug transit trade. They are forcing a crisis, and the crisis also helps them because as per the report of the UN Committee on Drugs, about 267 million drugs were involved in the drugs in Manipur and in these areas, and now they have moved the drug scenario also. Earlier they were using heroines. Now the Kuki militants, and especially in Manipur and Myanmar, they have started using chemical drugs. That is methamphetamine. That is what we call the world is yours, and that is manufactured in Manipur. They have made Manipur a manufacturing area for this heroin and chemical drugs. It is supplied to all over the world, and we cannot allow our land, we cannot allow our beautiful geography to be misused, to be destroyed by these illegal drug transporters, by these illegal immigrants. I think we all should fight together by unanimously resolving to agree on certain issues, and the most important part is we should be united. If we are not united, Amrita will not be able to do anything. Thank you, Amrita.
Very beautiful point, Oza Satyajeet. I think there's a lot to take. I think, Oza, you summarized in what the public actually sees. The intention of the union government is that the kind of actions that needs to be applied that will contribute to crisis resolution is not being applied, while on the contrary, the steps that are being taken by the central government that don't really contribute to any crisis resolution, but rather this in fact endure the democratic rights and the freedom that we enjoy in the state. So that goes a lot deeper, I think, from the point of view of the people of Manipur, just how there's a lot to take, in fact, but I will not dwell on that for now. But coming back to the topic at the timing and also the speech and the answers given by the Union Home Minister, he also mentioned that Manipur is recovering, especially in the economy. So he also mentioned that the inflation rate has also reduced. Now I'll pose this question to Shantikumar, that how can you say that by stating that inflation rate has reduced? In fact, it has reduced, because on January 2025, the inflation rate was 7.4%, and in February it was 5.35%. But the thing about inflation is that a reduced inflation does not mean that prices have come back to normal. It only means that prices are still increasing, but at a slower rate. Still, the question remains, how can the economy of the state, of a conflict-torn state, recover? Why is the central government not applying their mind to revive the economy of the state? Because if the Union Home Minister wants to say that peace and normalcy has returned to Manipur, it should be in such a state that it was there in pre-2023. Where the economy was almost booming and there was a lot of sales. The economy was pretty good, even though it was not as good as we would want it to be. So, Shantikumar, my question to you is that what kind of packages that the union government can give, and why are they not doing that to give an economic stimulus, a kind of a package to boost the economy or just to revive the economy, so that the people can truly benefit in the end? That is that will be what justice will mean. That will be what truly peace and normalcy coming back to the state would be. Shantikumar, your thoughts?
Okay, Amrita, before I come to the point, I just like to give a supplement to Bobo and Satyajeet.
Sure.
Talking about AFSPA.
Sure.
AFSPA. Actually, AFSPA was not really doing what they were supposed to do. Instead, they were helping the Kukijo militants, to do whatever they wanted to do, against the Meitei people. So I just like to add that point. All right. So coming back to the questions about Amit Shah's statement about the economy, improving of economy in the state of Manipur. Yes, you rightly mentioned about the inflation rate and the price level also. So it doesn't mean that inflation, sometimes goes up, sometimes goes down, but it doesn't really mean the price will fall down, And also it doesn't mean the economy of the state will be improved. No.
Right.
No.
Right.
So especially when we listen to, Dr. Akoizam Bimol, MP, and MP Alfred K.S. Arthur during the supplementary demand budget discussion, parliament budget discussion, they clearly identified those problems. And before I come back to that point, I just like to, So let's focus on that first. So how the economy of the state will be improved when people cannot move freely? Number one question.
Yes.
And number two, how the economy of the state will be improved if the national highways are not open freely? It is obstructed, it is restricted, it is banned, it is always disturbed by those Kukijo militants. All right? And the next point is how the economy of the state can be said that it is improved when you look at the budget allocation, for the state of Manipur. We can clearly see from the statements or from the speech of, Bimol Akoizam and Alfred, that there is no extra supplementary budget given to the state of Manipur. Not at all. But how many months, more than 21 months we have been suffering, and all the economic crisis we faced, and everything is stagnant actually. Not stagnant, but going down actually. How people life will be better? Let's look at the business. In Imphal, in the state of Manipur, in the valley, even in the hill, business cannot be done well. Business cannot be done well, and people cannot work freely. People cannot move freely. Look at the IDPs' conditions in the relief camps. Look at their lost properties, houses, fields where they cannot farm, they cannot cultivate anymore. This is all loss of properties, and it helps. It adds more crisis to the present economic situation of Manipur. And also, they also mentioned about floods and droughts. Manipur faces floods and droughts every season.
Yes.
Besides this economic crisis caused by the conflict.
Right.
And do we get any extra budget from the center? No, we don't. Actually, we don't get any extra budget for the conflict, for the flood, for the drought, and for the IDPs and for the lost properties. So this indicates that how the statement of Union Home Minister Amit Shah can be true. It is totally wrong.
Point.
It is just to make a nice picture or just to reflect the central government's governance system. That, we are doing well, we're controlling everything, the economy is improving well, and the crisis has been, controlled. It is just to, portray a nice picture of the BJP government in the center and also in the center, and also in the state. So I totally don't agree with his statement. So there's no improvement at all about economy, as Union Home Minister stated. Amrita, I would put this way.
Yes, very good point. I think I would agree with that as well, because just reviving an economy, it really needs an external stimulus, especially from the finance ministry. But it looks like Manipur is not getting any, at least this year. Now, moving on to the last segment of today's program, I would go to
just one point. I didn't give the last your point about what the central should do about that one. I think the central, yes, needs to overhaul the economy system of Manipur. This center should try to, put more budget, supplement more budget so that they can, so the state can solve the financial crisis in the state right now. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's how as it should be. Now, moving on with the last segment of today's program, Oja Bobo, we have been talking about how on the paper and also on the record of the Parliament, the Union Home Minister is desperate to paint the picture that Manipur is coming back to normalcy, while on the ground, we don't see much difference, even if there is a PR imposition in place. And now that the PR imposition is in place, and if the union government is behaving in such a way where the Manipur core issues and the crisis is being neglected, then how can the people of Manipur get the justice that we deserve? So who do we go to after all? And who do we speak to? Where do we start? Even if the PR imposition has no effect, then where do we go? Where do we start is the question now. Now, Oja Bobo, I'll let you have the closing remarks on that.
See, only the thing is that if we want to bring a peaceful solution to Manipur, firstly, all the representatives and all our CSO leaders should be united and come to a common point and come to a common voice. The voice should be very clear and loud that the integrity of Manipur or all the communities who have been staying should be united. And as well as the economy, if we want to develop economy, we need our sustainable economy, or we need our self-reliance economy from our GDP products of Manipur, not by just begging every month or every day to the center or any other state. We need our own GDP products to be more growth, to be more productive and cooperating together with all the concerned department. And secondly, we should choose a very powerful leader to lead in a very good and progressive for the people of Manipur, not just by during the election time or not just by giving some freebies to the public and giving away our rights for 5 years. That should not be, and we should be this time that we should almost analyze each and every candidate, each and every leader who are contesting in the election. Otherwise, we will be in the same again. If we again revolted the old system, then in the corrupted way, then we cannot go forward. And those elected members will play a mastermind and make us divide and rule policies among all the communities living together and robbing our these economies and making us all the public to beg the needy peoples or to beg our everyday life to them. So we need at this very time, and it's a very high time, that we should concentrate on electing a good public leader, not simply by giving our this vote for some freebies or some false promise. So it will be a very good way that if you concentrate on electing a good public leader, that it will be the only peaceful process in Manipur, not only to the valley, or to all the communities who are living together, or the Kukijo communities, or the Naga communities, or the Meitei Pangal, all the communities. If we come together, then we can only come this peaceful and coexist together. Thank you.
Very beautiful point. Yes, indeed. Ultimately, the message and the bottom line comes to that the people of Manipur needs to elect, not just elect, but represent somebody who truly can represent the issues of Manipur to the world stage event and bring justice and peace back to Manipur. So ultimately, that is where we always come to, that it is up to the people. But based on today's topic, our speakers have given the very important points that the imposition and the timing of the imposition of PR, as stated by Union Home Minister, is indeed not appropriate. It's indeed too late, and the appropriate timing, as he stated, only could mean that it is only for political convenience from the side of the BJP government. So on that note, I would like to end today's program. I would like to thank our speakers, Oja and Satyajeet, Dr. N.G. Shantikumar and Oja Bobo, for joining us and giving us your thoughts. Thank you all once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I would like to thank our viewers for tuning in tonight. We will be back again next Monday with more exciting topics. Until then, keep watching ELITETV. This is Amrita signing off for now. Have a good night.